the Regency Tavern. Tonight we have an extravaganza of delight and entertainment for you, all in aid of St Dunstan's Blind Veterans UK. Yay! Yay! Thank you all of those of you who have bought raffle tickets. They are now still available on sale behind the bar. £5 a strip. We have some wonderful prizes. A Christmas hamper. A bottle of Chateau Mouton de Rothschild. A bottle of Smirnoff. And a Sunday lunch for two here. That, of course, is the high price. It is, of course, totally and highly appropriate that what we're about to do is happening here. This pub, having existed on this site since the 18th century, and it was in pubs like this in the 18th century that the music hall tradition began.
And the same cobwebs
So,
today.
And the same peasants. Welcome to the palatial surroundings of the Regency Tavern for a night of mellifluosity as a motley of mendicant mummers will make manifest. A night at the music hall.
There's no entertainment like the good old music hall. That's the place to go to when the evening shadows fall. If you want a spot of laughter and you're feeling blue, go and book yourself a seat or line up in the queue. Let's all go to the music hall, where the show is gay and bright. Let's all go to the music hall, where the stars are twinkling twice a night. Whether you sit in the gallery, the circle or the pit, or whether you sit in the red plush stall, when the busy day is done and you want to have some fun, let's all go to the music hall. Let's all go down the Strand. Oh, what a happy band. I'll be leader, you can march behind. Come with me and see what we can find. Let's all go down the Strand and the Madonna. Oh, what a happy band. That's the place for fun and noise, all amongst the girls and boys. So let's all go down the Strand. Where did you get that hat? Where did you get that tile? Isn't it a knobby one and just a proper style? I should like to have one just the same as that. Wherever I go they shout, hello, where did you get that hat? Where did you get that hat? Where did you get that tile? Isn't it a knobby one and just a proper style? I should like to have one just the same as that. Wherever I go they shout, hello, where did you get that hat? Put on your tata, little girlie, do what I want you to. Far from the busy hurly-burly, I've got lots to say to you. My head's completely twirly-whirly. My girl, I want you to be. So put on your tata, your pretty little tata, and come out and tata with me. Two lovely black eyes. Oh, what a surprise. Only for telling a man he was wrong. Two lovely black eyes. Two lovely black eyes. Oh, what a surprise. Only for telling a man he was wrong. Two lovely black eyes. She was a dear little dicky bird. Tweet, tweet, tweet she went. Sweetly she sang to me till all my money was spent. Then she went off song. We parted on fighting terms. She was one of the early birds when I was one of the worms. So let's all go to the music hall, where the stars are twinkling twice a night. Whether you sit in the gallery, the circle or the pit, or whether you sit in a red plush stall, and you want to have some fun. Let's all go to the music, let's all go to the music, let's all go to the music hall.
Your chairman and master of ceremonies this evening, it will be my pleasure, if not yours, to appear between our star acts tonight to see you're all on top of the action, to wake up the stragglers and to whip you all into a frenzy of excitement.
Did you say whip?
Yeah. Now what we want tonight is audience participation. What do we want?
Audience participation.
My head examined. We want you to join in the choruses, clap along, clap if you feel like it. We ask you now to come to the heart of the East End and meet the first of our stars of the musical, described as the Scourge of Savile Row, attired in some of the less well-known items from his extensive wardrobe, the unstoppable, the unquashable, the lofty and the lyrical lilting tones of Mr. Richard Carney!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, good evening. Are we ready?
The Curly Queen.
At the bottom of Adversity Hill, there's a place called Poverty Street. And if you should go there, the times are very hard. A friend you will seldom meet. The sun of prosperity seldom shines, and all is dark down there. No one tends to lend a helping hand, because friendship is so rare. And when you're living down in Poverty Street, nobody knocks at your door. When you're living down in Poverty Street, folks all know you're poor. But when your bitter silver turns into gold and drives away all care, then you'll find that everybody's knocking at your door when you're living in Golden Square. When you're living down in Poverty Street, nobody knocks at your door. When you're living down in Poverty Street, folks all know you're poor. But when your bitter silver turns into gold and drives away all care, then you'll find that everybody's knocking at your door when you're living in Golden Square. Thank you very much, Felicity. If I look a bit unsteady on my feet, it's because I slipped on a muddy patch and tore the ligaments from behind my knee. And that was in January. It's just about healing now, but you don't want to hear that. My name is Richard Carney. My grandmother was a musical star in her own right. She was born in 1868. Started work in 1875 and worked up to within 6 months of her death, January the 1st, 1951. She did 3 Royal Command performances, the last one in May 1937, before Her Majesty Queen Mary and King George V. Now this next song, if I can remember what it is. This song is called Eliza Johnson. Since my pal went to the panto, all the pretty girls to see, he got mashed upon a Yankee and a ragtime melody. Now he's starting to compose one on a deuce harp for to play. and it drives him nearly frantic, 'cause he's singing all the day.
The man wants something.
Liza, you are my donut, you are my little peach. Meet me outside the fish shop, and I will buy you a pint of it, gold, love you. No bloke can come between us, all for him I would go. And if I lose my temper, then it's what Eliza Johnson, yes, what oh. Eliza, you are my donut, you are my little peach. Meet me outside the fish shop, and I will buy you a pint of each. No love you, no bloke can come between us, all for him I will go. And if I lose my temper, then it's what Eliza Johnson, yes, what Eliza Johnson, yes, what
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Carney! A legend in his own lifetime. For this next item, ladies and gentlemen, we feature for the very first time a prop. A prop at no expense spared. It is the millinery marvels you are about to witness as our next artist trips daintily into view to tell us the quaintest stories and what I know will be of especial interest to the ladies. So let her now expatiate upon her friend, Nellie, and upon Nellie's unusual headgear. With so large a bird on her hat, she's sure to be spotted. Yes, a millinery item from our resident succulent songstress. Oh!
Every Saturday, Willie got his pay. Then he went to call on Nell. Trousers neatly pressed and a nice white vest, buttonhole bouquet as well. Now in Nellie's little hat there was a little bird. That little bird knew quite a bit indeed, upon my word. And in its quiet way it had a lot to say as the lovers strolled along. I'll be your precious honey, I can promise that, said Nellie as she rolled her dreamy eyes. It's a shame to take the money, said the bird on Nellie's hat. Last week she said the same to Jimmy Wise. Then to Nellie Willie whispered as they fondly kissed, now I bet that you were never kissed like that. Well, you don't know Nellie like I do, said the saucy little bird on Nellie's hat. In a quiet nook by a shady brook, Will and Nellie fished. Lips together pressed with kisses sweet, love is such a dainty dish. Then Nellie said to Will, such lovely words galore, with everything that Nellie said that bird had heard before. And when he took his hand and whispered, ain't love grand, Nellie winked the other eye. Oh, I haven't caught a fish, what do you think of that, said Nellie with the most bewitching look. You can bet she knows her business, said the bird on Nellie's hat, and Willie is the fish she's going to hook. Oh, it's 12 o'clock, said Willie, I must take you home. Now I bet you're never out as late as that. Well, you don't know Nellie like I do, said the saucy little bird on Nellie's hat. Autumn came along, love's long dream gone wrong. Will went round to call. Servant with a grin said, she's not in, Nellie's gone away, that's all. For Willie's heart was broke, he fought with life in vain, until on 5th Avenue he met his love again. He said, we meet again. She said, our love's in vain, but we can be real good friends. And I'll keep just for old time's sake. Fit to Nelly as she rolled her dreamy eyes. She's got him good and plenty, said the bird on Nelly's hat. Oh, Willie, Willie, when will you be wise? Yes, but what about the diamond engagement ring? Of course, said Willie, you'll return me that. Well, you don't know Nelly like I do, said the saucy little bird on Nelly's hat. Said the saucy little bird on Nelly's hat.
Excellent.
Okay, time for us all to clear and throats and sing once again as our next artist brings us the hit song from the Alhambra Review. The Bing Boys are here. That most celebrated of sentimental ditties, If You Were the Only Girl in the World. So, serenading all the ladies here tonight,
There's plenty of those.
casting a potent spell, as only he can, is your very own, Mr. Peter Davey.
I must say something first. Richard, if you ever want any buttons, you know where to go. Right? And this song was made famous originally in, I think, about 1980 by George Roby. He's known as the Prince of... I'll forget. If you were the only girl in the world, and I was the only boy, nothing else would matter in this world today. We could go on loving in the same old way. A garden of Eden just made for two, with nothing to spoil the joy. I would say such wonderful things to you. There would be such wonderful things to do if you were the only girl in the world and I were the only boy. Let's hear you. You were the only girl in the world and I was the only boy. Nothing else would matter in this world today. We could go on loving in the same old way. A garden of Eden just made for two, with nothing to mar our joy. I would say such wonderful things to you. There would be such wonderful things to do if you were the only girl in the world and I were the only boy. There, thank you. There was nothing. Thank you.
We need to light the candles.
Come to me, my melancholy baby. Cuddle up and don't be blue. All your fears are foolish, fancy baby. You know that I'm in love with you. Every cloud must have a silver line. Wait until the sun shines through. Smile at my honey dear. What a kiss away tears. Or else I shall be melancholy. All together. Come to me, my melancholy baby. I can't hear you. Cuddle up and don't be blue. Oh, fancy baby.
young men discarding their spats all over East Sussex,
Disgusting.
and young ladies' skirts rising to a full 3 inches below the knee.
Good God.
It's good to know that our goddess of the virtues here at the Regency is at least prepared to follow her mother's advice. I won't mention her name, as she is from a good family and wishes to remain anonymous. So I will simply introduce her as a debutante, and who indeed could respond to such unspoilt innocence.
And my mother said, when first I wore a long black skirt and blouses, she said, get out of my wardrobe, you little devil. No, she didn't know. To always keep an eye on anything that's wearing trousers. They're always running after a pretty little girl like me. But if anyone should choose me, I control my dignity. My mother said, always look under the bed before you blow the candle out. See that there's a man about. I always do. You can make a bet, but it's never been my luck to find a man there yet. Now the other night, beneath my bed, I found a man. How funny. But when I pulled it out, I found 'twas but a tailor's dummy. And oh, it did upset me, girls. I screamed out in alarm, but I let it stay there all the same, 'cause it wouldn't do no harm. And my mother said, always look under the bed before you blow the candle out. See if there's a man about. I always do. You can make a bet, but it's never been my luck to find a man there yet. Now, the house next door had burglars in, and beneath her bed, one tarried. She found him. She arrested him. The next month they were married. So if there's a young man here tonight who fancies I'm alright, I'll leave our front door open if he'll rob my house tonight. My father said, always look under the bed before you blow the candle out. See if there's a man about. I always do. You can make a bet, but it's never been my luck to find a man there yet. My father said, always look under the bed before you blow the candle out. See if there's a man about. I always do. You can make a bet, but it's never been my luck to find a man there yet.
It's now time to raise the stakes, raise the roof, and raise our standards. Our next artist has been a third favourite with the Duke of York, the Prince of Wales, and numerous other hostelries.
Not Richard again.
To extol the foibles of the female sex, will you please welcome Cabaret's Music Hall's Revenge to Signor Caruso, Mr. Mark Lanahan. Johnny Reno chorus. Thank you very much. Hang on!
Start again.
Sixpence there. Any key you like.
vento e di pensiero, sempre un amabile leggiadro viso, in pianto e in riso e menzognero. La donna immobile vuol più al letto, muova la gente e di pensiero. Sempre misero, chi le s'affida, chi le confida, ai ormai non senti, se li sappieno, chi sul pensiero non li fa male, la donna immobile, vuol più un letto, muova la gente, e di pensiero,
Now, many of you gathered here tonight in the Church of Cain and Abel in Hampstead Heath
Oh, yeah.
will know that these words are Cockney rhyming slang. Cain and Abel means table and Hampstead Heath means teeth. We are glad to welcome tonight a group of Cockney worshippers to Evensong, and it is to them that I wish to address my sermon. I want to tell you a story. A long time ago, in the days of the Israelites, there lived a poor man. He had no trouble and strife. She had run off with a tea leaf some years before. And now he lived with his bricks and mortar, Mary. And being very short of bees and honey, and unable to pay the Stoke-on-Trent, he was tempted to go forth into the Bristol city and see what he could half-inch. And he would say to Mary, his bricks and mortar, I will take a ball of chalk into the town and buy some tobacco for my cherry ripe. And he would put on his almond rocks and his dicky dirt and his round the houses and set off down the Frog and Toad until he reached the outskirts of the Bristol. One day his bricks and mortar gave him some money, saying, here's a saucepan lid, go and buy food, a loaf of Uncle Fred and a pound of standard ease. But do not tarry in the town, and bring me back what is left of the money to buy myself a new pair of early doors. For my present ones are full of holes, and I am in a continual jaw draft. But instead of returning with the bees and honey for his bricks and mortar's early doors, he's made his way to the Rubber Dub for a tumble down the sink, and he became very elephant trunk and Mozart and less. And when the landlord of the Rubber Dub called Bird Lime, the man set off back towards his cat and mouse, reeling all over the Frog and Toad, and drunkenly humming a stewed prune. And it came to Khyber Pass that as he staggered along, he saw on the pavement a small brown Richard III. And he stared at it, lying there at his plates of meat, and he said, oh, small brown Richard III,
excuse me.
how lucky I did not step on you. And he picked it up and put it on top of a wall, where no one else could step on it. And a rich 4x2-ish merchant, who witnessed the deed, put his hand into his skyrocket and took out a Lady Godiva and handed it to the man, saying, I saw you pick up that Richard III and remove it from the pavement, and that was a kindly act. take this Lady Godiva for your froth and bump. And the man took it and went on his way. And the Richard III flew back to its nest. When the man arrived home, his daughter was sitting by the Jeremiah on her favourite Lionel Blair. And the man said unto her, here is a Lady Godiva, which I earned by a kindly act. And the woman was overjoyed and said, thank you, father, now I can have my pair of early doors. And I can have my drink, said the man. Verily, that kindly act has ensured that we both have enough to cover our bottle and glasses. I thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, after the following interval, we will, after the following item, we will have an interval of 20 minutes for you all to recharge your glasses. We have a fully licensed bar.
Really?
Licensed, I said. And then you can reflect on tonight's performance thus far, and of course, make any more welcome donations for St. Dunstan.
Brilliant.
But for now, in a celebration of the virtuosity, vitality, and varying vicissitudes of Miss Evelyn Leigh and Miss Cicely Courtnidge, please welcome the first dame of the British Empire, an enigma with many a variation, Dame Hilda Brackett!
If I were king for a day, to my advisors I'd say, within my kingdom it's found, there's too much and there's wrong, let music come to our aid, command that music be made, let all our people parade, this shall be my decree, let the people sing like anything, any sort of song they choose. Let the people sing, let the welkin ring, anything to kill the blues. Find the merry song to cheer them, tell them that I long to hear them. When things go wrong, you may find a song, welcome as a breath of spring. Let the people sing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that song was originally sung by dear Evelyn Leigh in a review called Lights Up. And of course some of the younger ones may not know who Evelyn Leigh was. I know a lot of the older people will. But Evelyn Leigh, she was the great star of Noel Coward who performed in his Bittersweet. And also she came over to perform in the New Moon. And oh, she had everything. She had vitality, she had grace, she had charm, she had charisma. Mercifully only in her left leg, it never stopped her dancing. Oh yes, she cured herself, she inhaled under a roller towel. But another song from that lovely show, Lights Up. And of course she was C.B. Cochrane's leading lady. Another song from that review. And years later when I saw Boo, she looked at me with those lovely piercing blue eyes and she spoke in that crystal cut soprano voice. She said, Hilda, when you go on to do my songs? Well, it was later on in her life. She was in Denville Hall, let's say. There's a few inmates in tonight, I can see. And what time does she must leave here? She said to me, she said, Hilda, when you perform my songs, go out, walk down stage, shoulders back, perform it as if you mean it. And I thought, well, that's lovely, Boo. And she gave me the last two couplets at this. Come along, dear, I'm so sorry you're late. All right. Did you bring a note? She said, fingers out of mouths, please. Thank you. We'll find you something else in a moment. She said to me, she said, where the devil was I? She said, Hilda, perform my song for all your work. And she gave me these two couplets from another song from Lights Up. Thank you. here is a picture, a man and a girl, strolling along in the shades. Now he is the Marquis, the son of an earl, and she is a pure village maid. He tells her he loves her again and again. She thinks he is loyal and true. And then comes the night when he gives her champagne and does what he ought not to do. Only a glass of champagne, but it led the poor girl into sin. Only a glass of champagne, 'twas the door where the devil crept in. Oh, it's just an old story, it's always the same. Just like a poor moth, she flew too near the flame. She opened her wings and she lost her good name. All through a glass of champagne. Now think of her future, the sorrow and shame. Neither a maid nor a wife. And think of her parents who gave her the name that she has dishonored her mind. So what's to become of her, spurned and reviled, into oblivion hurled? And what can she offer the fatherless child? Oh, shut up. That she has brought into the world. Only a glass of champagne, but it led a poor girl into sin. Only a glass of champagne, 'twas the door where the devil crept in. Now she lost her honor in sorrow and shame. With her false lover she pleaded in vain, but by the next morning she lost it again. All through a glass of champagne. So ladies, take warning, there's really no doubt. Men can't be trusted when wild about. So take this advice from a girl who found out. Oh, what was It's not full yet, dear. No, dear. Right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a short interval now. So, thank you so much for coming with us today, because if you hadn't come, it would look very silly. By coming here tonight, you've made the vicar, and for the great ladies of the English, they're very happy when we see them again to tell them. And another lady, you see, who knew what the people wanted was simply cottage. And is that going to worry me, that coffee maker?
It is worrying me.
It is very worrying, yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was a facial sauna. Right. Sisley Cottage. In the year,
Can you keep that in a bit? I'm filming. Sorry, lovey. Film when we want to, lovey. Just keep it when we're not.
And she really did steal the show at the Savile Theatre with that lovely number, you know, vitality. That was more than personality.
Sorry.
But we're going to leave you now with this little song from Gay is the Word, which I think sums up all I personally believe of my love of the theatre. If only it looks my way, just not to say a word. This death would end there and then. The very moment when my heart stopped beating. If only it turned to smile, then our weary meeting would always seem a dream. To dream. If only it looked my way. Do you know, the first time I was conscious of it, I was doing my little dance. One of those schottish things. And of course they don't do it anymore today. And he was sitting in the stage box, and I saw a mess.
Did he catch his earring, Peter?
Curly hair and a white gardenia. He always wore a white gardenia. At the end of my dance, he threw it onto the stage. It landed at my feet, and I slipped. Oh, he was terribly upset that he came around to apologize. And the next night, and the next, and you see, to me, it was a big romance, but to him, just one of those things. And when he got away, which was so casual, I just carried on dancing my little shittish. And I've often wondered, what would it have been like?
Somewhere to stand.
Lester Victoria,
Somewhere to stand.
Mary Lloyd, and all the great ladies of the music hall.
Take me where the folks all cry, K-E-double-L-Y. Flanagan, Flanagan, if you love your Mary Ann. Oh, Flanagan, take me to the Isle of Man. You are my honeysuckle, I am your bee. I'd like to taste the honey your red lips, you see. I love you dearly, dearly, and I want you to love me. You are my honeysuckle, I am your bee. Joshua, Joshua, why don't you call and see Mama? He'll be pleased to know you are my best beau. Joshua, nicer than rose squash you are. Yes, my Joshua, Joshua, you are. You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me love you. And all the time I mean it. I guess I always mean it. You made me happy sometimes. You made me glad. But there were times, dear, you made me feel so sad. You made me sigh for. I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you. I've got one love, that's true. Yes, I do indeed, I do. You know I do. Give me what I sigh for. You got the brand of kisses that I die for. You know you made me love you. I love thy little cat, I do. Its coat is oh so warm. It comes with me to school each day and sits upon the form. When teacher says, why do you bring that little cat of yours? I tell him that I bring my cat along with me because Daddy wouldn't buy me a bow wow. Daddy wouldn't buy me a bow wow. I've got a little cat and I'm very fond of that, but I'd rather have a bow wow wow. Daddy wouldn't buy me a bow wow. Daddy wouldn't buy me a bow wow. I've got a little cat and I'm very fond of that, but I'd rather have a bow wow wow. Now we had to move away, cause the rain rent we couldn't pay. The moving van came round just after dark. There was me and my old man shoving things inside the van, which we'd often done before, let me remark. Well, we packed all we could pack in the van, and that's a fact. And we shoved all that we could shove inside. Then we stacked all we could stack on the tailboard at the back, till there wasn't any room for me to ride. So my old man said, follow the van, and don't dilly-dally on the way. Oh, with the van with me old cat in it, I followed on with me old cockle in it. I dillied and dallied, dallied and dillied, lost the way and don't know where to go. I stopped on the way to have the old dark wood, no, I can't find my way home. My old man said, follow the van, and don't dilly-dally on the way. Oh, when the van with the old man in it, I followed on with the old cockle in it. I dillied and dallied, dallied and dillied, lost the way, I don't know where to roam. Oh, you can't trust the specials like the old time coppers when you can't find your way home. Can't find your way home.
We continue now with a song that extols the virtues of 10 days leave. A doleful ditty which, as the title implies, tells of an ordinary enough event. A woman who loved not wisely but too well. And lifted out of the commonplace in a powerfully emotional performance. So please, welcome back the man whose voice hasn't been trained. It's been artistically shunted. Mr. Richard Carney!
Hey, good old Richard.
Royalty!
With friends like him, who needs enemies?
You got a lot of enemies.
Yeah. Here we go. I've had some news today. I've had a note to say that my boy Billy is coming home. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm fairly off my head, and you would be the same as me, 'cause this is what he said with me. Bundle on my shoulder, I'll come toddling home tonight, toddling home tonight, won't it be alright? We'll have some fun, of that you can be sure. We'll have some cuddling up we've never had before. Oh, at 2:30, meet me at Waterloo. For you I've got something up my sleeve. So mind you send the kiddies to the pictures. I'm coming home on me 10 days leave. With me bundle on me shoulder, I'll come toddling home tonight, toddling home tonight, won't that be alright? We'll have some fun, of that you can be sure. We'll have some cuddling up we've never had before. Oh, at 2:30, meet me at Waterloo. For you I've got something up my sleeve. So mind you send the kiddie to the pictures. I'm coming home on me 10 days leave. Well, as I said in the first half of the show, I do come from musical stock, my grandmother being Kate Carney, but my grandfather was just as famous in his time. He started off as a clog dancer, a pedestal clog dancer with his friends, and they called themselves Barclay and Perkins. Barclays and Perkins Ale, and their bill matter was Barclay and Perkins, the Brewers of Mirth. And they did a crosstalk act, they did a time step, and then when the laughter came, they did a very clever step, and they not only got the laughter, but they got the applause as well. Now, in 1927, the year that I was born, my grandfather was crowned King of the Agents. That's the Variety Hall Theatre Agents. Now, I've got the crown at home. It's only brass and glass, but King was the operative word. And he was agent to most of the big stars of the day. Anyway, I'd like to sing one of Grandma's most famous songs. It's called Are We to Part Like This, Bill?
Oh,
Weeks ago, no longer, I was as gay as a bird on the wing. See, and still have been parted, you know. Life is a blank, and it's changed everything. I saw him out with another last night. No one can tell how I felt at the sight. With tears in my eyes that I tried to keep back, I crept to his side and said, are we to part like this, Bill? Are we to part this way? Who's it to be, her or me? Don't be afraid to say, if it's all over between us, don't ever pass me by. 'Cause you and me, true friends can be, for the sake of the days gone by. Now they went to school together, lived side by side, her and Bill in the mews. When he was ill, why, she'd sit up at night, offer to nurse him, she'd never refuse. She used to think that his wife would be. She never thought that he'd change, but you see, both waking and sleeping, at work or at play, you'd hear her murmuring, are we to part like this, Bill? Are we to part this way? Who's it to be, her or me? Don't be afraid to say, now it's all over between us. Don't ever pass me by, for you and me, true friends can be, for the sake of the days gone by. Are we to part like this, Bill? Are we to part this way? Who's it to be, her or me? Don't be afraid to say, if it's all over between us, don't ever pass me by. For you and me, true friends can be, for the sake of the days gone by.
The festive period approaches, and with it that ghastly phenomenon that only mercifully occurs once a year. The time when ladies dress as gentlemen Gentlemen dress as ladies, as the entire audience raises their voices with cries of, "It's behind you!" It's time now for a foretaste, a preview of that seasonal delight, the Christmas Pantman.
There you are. I didn't know you were going to be here. I'm so sorry I'm late. I really am, everybody. Now, when we were young, but old enough for us to understand, we all believed in fairies. And the folks of fairyland. But the modern child's been running wild. They want to know too much. They've never understood about Red Riding Hood. How could Red Riding Hood have been so very good and still kept the wolf from the door? Father and mother, she had none, so where in the world did the money come from? And so I ask it, who filled her basket? The storybooks never tell. They say she found a wolf in her granny's bed, an old poke bonnet pulled over his head. But you know and I know what she found instead. How could Red Riding Hood have been so very good and still kept the wolf from the door? Now you've heard of Cinderella and Goldilocks and such. Now some tales tell us oodles, and some don't tell us much. Now they'll never know 'twas long ago that all this came about. They still can't get the goods on modern Riding Hood. How could Red Riding Hood have been so very good and still kept the wolf from the door? Her granny's cottage was 10 miles away, so how come her journey took less than a day? It makes you wonder, was its face blunder, or woodcutter came to her aid? They say that she was a maid so discreet, she'd never pick up strange men off the streets. But you know and I know what girls do to eat. How could Red Riding Hood have been so very good and still kept the wolf from the door? She was the nicest of all the nice girls. She had a head full of lovely blonde curls. But you know and I know what girls do for pearls. How could Red Riding Hood have been so very good and still kept the wolf from, and still kept the wolf from, and still kept the wolf from the door?
And now to return to a gentleman who will give great pleasure. But first, he has two songs for you. Items of incredible delight. Swaggering back into view now, we have the very epitome of the swell, the fashionable cad, oozing bonhomie and heartiness from every pore, with malice toward none and with charity for all. It has to be the redoubtable Mr. Peter David!
I must say, you've sure got that wrong.
Where did you get that hat?
The bells are ringing for me and my gal. The birds are singing for me and my gal. Everybody's been knowing to a wedding they're going, and for weeks they've been sewing. Every Susie and Sal, they're congregating for me and my gal. Birds are waiting, birds for me and my gal. And someday, oh, for 2 or 3 or 4 or more, we need love land for me and my gal. Come on, everybody, bells are ringing for me and my gal. Birds are singing I'll go to you, but I'll forget it. There you go! Sweet folks, nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. Nothing could be sweeter than my sweetie when I'm in the west in the morning. Where the morning glories flood around the door, whispering pretty stories. Smoking with my girlie where the tube is pearly early in the morning. Butterflies will flutter, kiss each little buttercup at dawning. If I had a lantern for only a day, I'd miss you, well I'd say nothing could be finer than to be in Caroline in the morning. Tell yourselves, nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. Nothing could be sweeter than my sweetie when I'm midwest in the morning. Where the morning glories flood around the door, whispering pretty stories I want to hear once more. If I had a lantern for only a day, I'd make a wish and here's what I'd say. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning.
Mr. Peter Davies.
Bravo.
Well done, Green.
Our third favourite now claims our time and attention with a discussion of the fairer sex. He will be singing an operatic aria, and I'm sure we all look forward to his execution.
Here, here!
Coming over with all the buoyant optimism that his youth and manly vigour can generate.
Oh, thank you very much.
Please welcome back Mr. Mark Lanahan.
Wait a moment while I have a rest from my walk to the stage. Right. Let's see if I can. I've got the room written down. I'll still forget them anyway. Let's. Thank you very much. Carry on.
Thank you very much.
We're with you.
To a ball I one night was invited, and being so fond of the dance, at the prospect I felt quite delighted, and eagerly jumped at the chance. There were boos looking out for bells, and bells were fishing for birds, till a pal introduced me to one. I thought for a ride to the roads, and I said, chaps, she is the belle of the ball, dear boys. She is the belle of the ball, dear boys. She is the best of them all, dear boys. She is the belle of the ball. The envy of all the fair dancers, she had such a fairy-like grace. When just in the midst of the lancers, my lady turned black in the face. She gurgled, she gasped, and she glared, and grabbed hold of the tail of my coat. Alas, the top teeth of my partner had slipped down her beautiful throat. Well, there's nothing wrong with the old false tooth or two. All the best sets have them. So I still said, she is the belle of the ball, dear boys. She is the belle of the ball, dear boys. She is the best of them all, dear boys. She is the belle of the ball. La 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 la. she'd recovered. In a quadrille I next took her hand. When I looked in her eyes I discovered something I could not understand. Her eyes were as straight as a Venus when I gazed at them fondly before. Now one eye looked up at the ceiling and the other looked down at the floor. Penny shed a glass high, and my friend said to me, and I said, no! She is the belle of the ball, dear boys. She is the belle of the ball, dear boys. She is the best of them all, dear boys. She is the belle of the ball. Not finished yet. Just 16 verses left. How the ladies think good and tittered. Of course you can easily guess. Now my feelings now sadly embittered. I will not leave a girl in distress. So we when she tripped over some poor fellow's leg. When off came her head, 'twas all false. Her head was as bald as an egg. I got my coat, my hat, and my cane, and I left immediately. Until this day, they called down Piccadilly, "Hey Charlie, how is your belle of the ball, dear boys? How is your belle of the ball, dear boys? She was the best of them all, dear boys. She was the belle of the ball. She was my belle of the Mr.
Hey, bravo!
If you don't sing another song, I'll continue.
The company now pays tribute to the craftsmanship of the country's foremost #1 female entertainer, every inch a woman, and that's about the size of it. But resplendent in masculine attire, please welcome Mr. Peter Davies, myself, and Mr. David Ramel, celebrating the one, the only, Mr. Danny LaRue.
And you can sing along. I've just been lingering all alone down Paradise Road. When I was a kiddie I had a sweetheart, and down there we'd go. I called her Nellie and she called me George. We would walk there hand in hand. We both sit down on the pavement chair and we picture the future grand. On Mother Kelly's doorstep, I'm wondering now. She's got a hole in her foot, a hole in her shoe, a hole in her sock when it's but Nellie was the smartest down our valley. On Mother Kelly's doorstep, I'm wondering now if little blonde Nellie remembers Joe. And does she love me like she used to? On Mother Kelly's doorstep, we're down Paradise Road, all together, on Mother Kelly's doorstep. She's got a little hole in her frock, a hole in her shoe, a hole in the socket where her toe goes through. But Nelly was the smartest down our alley. On Mother Kelly's doorstep, I'm wondering now if little Nelly remembers Joe. And does she love me like she used to? Where? On Mother Kelly's doorstep, down Paradise Road.
Peggy O'Neill is the girl who could steal any heart, anywhere, anytime. So I'll put you wise how you'll recognize this wonderful girl of mine. If her eyes are full of stars, that's Peggy O'Neill. If she's smiling all the while, that's Peggy O'Neill. If she walks like a sly little rogue, if she talks with a cute Irish bloke, sweet personality, full of rascality, that's Peggy O'Neill. Molly always never told me she could never tell someone she was meet. Peggy O'Neill. Molly always never spoke like intended. She could never make a show of love sweet. Peggy O'Neill. Brady was a perfect lady with a smiling, ready smile. Peggy isn't simple, that's why she has the alligator feet a mile. So it's sweet, the Madison and Napadina, and you feel you really want to love. That's Peggy O'Neill. If I could bring you jewels rare, so dazzling and beyond compare, the luster in your eyes would put them all to shame. The offering of love I bring is just a very simple thing, a simple souvenir that's far, far more sincere. When I would give a little white gardenia, as refreshing as a day in May, you may take it if you care, or throw it away. When you look into this white gardenia, there's a message that I dare not say, but I'll let this little white gardenia convey. Who knows, wherever we may be, together or so far apart, take this token of my love, cherish it and keep it close to your heart. If our paths should ever cross again, dear, accidentally or by fate's design, if you wear that little white gardenia, I know you are mine. Take this token of my love, together or so far apart. Take this token of my love, cherish it and keep it close to your heart. If our paths should ever cross again, dear, accidentally or by fate's design, when you wear that little white gardenia, I know you are mine.
It's all pretty true.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been the best audience
Thank you, sweetie.
we've had all evening.
David,
And tonight we have assembled
No,
the
you
best
mean-
artists that the budget could run to. Please continue to unburden yourselves of any loose change in your pockets for St. Dunstan's. There will be a champagne bucket by the door. And otherwise, we would ask you now to clear your throats and join us in the last of tonight's choruses after one more song from the legend that is Mr. Richard Carney.
Out in the trench with the Belgians and French, a young Irish soldier lay down. In the midst of the fight, took his first chance to write to his mother in Tipperary town. Be that it must be short, for they censor every note. So to cheer a good old Irish heart, sure this is what he wrote.
Am I empty?
Somewhere in France, somewhere but I can't tell. In the midst of the fray, I'm writing to say that I'm still alive and well. And there's some fine big boys in Tipperary, somewhere in France with me. So cheer up, dear, the next time you hear I'll be somewhere in Germany. Now let's change the scene. The postman has been, and outside the old cottage door, a mother in tears. It's the first time she hears for her son who is fighting in the war. Still full of pride, she dries her eyes and soon forgets her pain, 'cause she thinks she hears him singing as he reads that note again. Somewhere somewhere but I can't tell. In the midst of the fray, I'm writing to say that I'm still alive and well. And there's some fine big lads from Tipperary, somewhere in France with me. So cheer up, dear, the next time you hear I'll be somewhere in Germany.
So indeed, today being of course Armistice Day and the 200th anniversary of the end of World War I.
200?
100. In memory of the Great War and the spirit of courage and gallantry, we present the entire company. Mr. Richard Carney, Mr. Peter Davies, Mr. Mark Lanahan, myself, and Mr. David Ramel, with a little medley of Rose of England, and then we'd ask you to join in when we get to it with Keep the Home Fires Burning.
One land alone, where proud winds have blown, there's not a flower born of the shower, braver than England's rose. Through years of wind to blow, piercing hail and snow, shining she stays, bright as in days of yore. In England's shore, Rose of England, thou shalt fade not here. Long and bright from golden years They were summoned from the hillside, they were called in from the glen, and the country found them ready at the sterling call for them. Let no tears add to your hardships as the soldiers march along. And although your heart is weary, let it sing this cheerful song. Keep the home fires burning while your hearts are yearning. Though your lands are far away, they dream of home. There's a silver lining through the dark clouds shining. Turn the dark clouds inside out till the boys come home.
Overseas there came our pleading, help the nation in distress, and we gave our glorious laddies honor paid us to no less. For no gallant son of Britain to a foreign yoke shall bend, and no Englishman is silent to the sacred.
Sorry, sweetie, I don't hear you.
Keep the home fires burning while your hearts are yearning. Though your lands are far away, they dream of home. There's a silver lining through the dark clouds shining. Turn the dark clouds inside out till the boys come home. Keep the home fires burning while your hearts are yearning. Though your lands are far away, they dream of home. There's a silver lining through the dark clouds shining. Turn the dark clouds inside out till the boys come home. Ladies and gentlemen, one last time, Mr. Richard Carney.